Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy August. It is now August 1st, which is super exciting as we continue to truck along through this year. And August is a pretty big month for a lot of folks, including myself. I'll be going back to school here soon, so expect a change of scenery and maybe a change of schedule in the videos as well. I'm not quite sure. Right now, it looks like my class schedule should allow for the videos to still come out at a pretty normal time, but I'm not quite sure about my work schedule yet, as I'll just kind of have to see how that evolves over the next couple of weeks. But either way, like I said, it's August. That's super exciting. I know I'm excited for August. I'm excited to get back to class, get back to learning some things, which I'm sure will improve the videos. Also excited for some college football to get going here towards the end of the month. So, a really exciting month. And honestly, August is really that transition into fall. Once you start getting into September, summer's really out of most people's minds, and we all kind of turn that gear towards fall. So, again, super exciting. I love fall, definitely my favorite month. And hopefully you all also like the season as well. I know most people right now probably love the idea of fall considering how hot it has been. But a little bit of a clue into what we're going to talk about in this video. We do have some relief from that heat on the way. So that is definitely some good news. And a lot of folks are really going to benefit over the next couple of days from quite cool temperatures, even fall-like temperatures for some folks as we go through the next 72 hours or so. So we'll definitely talk a lot about that. We're also going to talk about what is going to come after this cool down. Can we expect it to last for a while, or will we heat back up into more summer-like temperatures as we get further into August? I'll have all that information for you here in this video. And with that said, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely consider doing so. Like the video if you like it, and comment. Let me know if you're new to the channel, and if you're one of my regulars, of course, comment as well. Let me know how you're doing. I love to keep up with you folks and see how you're hanging in there. With that said, though, I think that's enough of me blabbering on. We can go ahead and start talking about the weather here. So taking a look at satellite imagery, a couple of pretty important things to note here. So this is that big ridge we were talking about with this big trough in the jet stream that is also kind of dipped down into the eastern half of the country, bringing with it drier weather and cooler weather. Now, the drier part of that will change here soon, but the cooler part will actually get even cooler as we go through the next couple of days for some folks. And this is something that's really just kind of begun to evolve in the forecast over the past couple of days, and we're definitely going to talk a healthy amount about it in this video. Now, another thing to notice here on satellite is we have a big upper level low spinning away up here in Canada. Kind of difficult to see on this map, but with that is helping to bring in more of that Canadian wildfire smoke behind it. So we've had a very hazy afternoon and evening in Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, Michigan, and up towards Wisconsin as well. As we go through the next couple of days, expect this to get a little bit better, although it should linger around for at least the next couple of days before really clearing out by the time we get into this weekend. Now, taking a look at radar imagery, overall, mostly quiet for a lot of folks this afternoon, despite some scattered showers and storms here throughout the southeast, as well as some areas of rain here along that ridge back out into the plains. And again, we talked about this past couple of videos. The general pattern that we've had is with this big ridge out west, the way it kind of just falls down here over the Mississippi River into this trough has led to rounds of rain falling down that ridge slope with it. So this is going to also bring with it even more rain for some new folks over the next couple of days, and we'll definitely talk a lot about that. So let me just bring up the drawing I have of this ridge again. And you'll notice that there's some different things happening because of this ridge as well. One, we have again winds coming from the south here back out west, and with that we're dealing with still very excessive temperatures, including dangerous heat for a lot of the southern Great Plains, from Jackson, Mississippi, all the way over down towards central Texas and as far north as Kansas, getting in on the heat from this ridge. Now in the east, you'll notice we're relatively quiet because we're having that cooler, drier air funneled in from the north, helping to keep those heat advisories down to a minimum. Now, going into tomorrow, I do expect an area of severe weather here kind of into the St. Louis metro, and again, this is due to these areas of storms falling down the edge of that ridge. So, again, if you're in St. Louis tomorrow, or really just anywhere in the state of Missouri, as well as kind of southern Illinois and into kind of areas of extreme western Kentucky into the Paducah area, expect some showers and storms that could become strong to severe during the afternoon tomorrow. Now, talking a bit more about this in terms of kind of what this is going to mean in terms of rainfall over the next couple of days, we will go ahead and map this out for you. So again, it's been a pretty quiet day today, but as we go into our Wednesday morning and afternoon, expect rain to develop here into areas of Missouri. And again, this could become strong to severe throughout the day tomorrow. Now that rain is going to continue to funnel south and eastward through the day, and also expect some showers and storms to increase into the southeast tomorrow. Now, there's going to be a very clear reason we're seeing this tomorrow, and especially Thursdays whenever I think this will really exemplify itself. It all is to do with this pattern, and we're almost going to get sort of a winter-like pattern in terms of the setup. So what we have is high pressure here in the northeast and really just the east in general, or part of that trough that is, sunk southward, and this is helping to keep things cool and dry. Now, as this kind of retreats off to the east, going through the later part of this work week, behind it will be some cold air stuck at the surface. And we see this a lot of times during winter, where as these high pressures leave, you still have that dry, cooler air left at the surface. And I shouldn't say cold air, because this is still plenty warm enough and plenty summer-like, but more importantly, this will be pretty dry air. So as that kind of begins to retreat and this ridge pushes eastward, and we get these, rounds of precipitation of fall down that ridge into this cooler and drier air, that will cause some evaporational cooling that will bring the temperature down, where eventually it'll meet the dew point, and that will be at a very low temperature for this time of year, and then it will begin to precipitate. So Thursday afternoon specifically, I know we're not quite that far on the map here, but looks like a very cool kind of wet day for a lot of folks. So again, this general pattern will really start Wednesday. Expect things to cool down and become a bit rainier for kind of this circled area here on your map. And for a lot of these folks here, again, rainy and cool is going to be the main story the next couple of days. You'll notice, though, Wednesday, more of a scattered rain event, but by the time we get to Wednesday night and Thursday, we have widespread rain breaking out for major populated areas like Nashville, Greenville, Asheville, maybe as far east as Charlotte, and as far south as Atlanta, with this big kind of area of wet weather and cool weather. So it's kind of a double-edged sword here. You get the cool weather, which I'm sure is quite nice for a lot of folks, but also kind of more of the rainy weather as well. And this is going to, accumulate pretty quickly, this rainfall. So some of us could get up to 3 inches of rain. Would not be surprised to see that. Maybe spots into kind of those western-facing slopes of the mountains getting up towards 5 inches of rain. Wouldn't be surprised to see that as well as we go through this week. So again, Wednesday, that rain kind of begins. Thursday, I think it really personifies itself, or I don't know why I keep using the word personifies. That's not the right word to use, but exemplifies itself, I guess, if that's the way to word it. Either way, what I'm trying to say is Thursday will probably be the worst of this. Friday will calm back down a bit, and then by the time we get into the weekend, we're back to that summertime weather. So taking a look at our millibar map here, again, the reason we're going to see this is because of this cooler weather retreating while this rain works its way in. Those two are going to overlap a bit, bringing those cooler temperatures for our Thursday, and as well as our Wednesday and Friday, and I'll show you that even better on the next map. Now, this will not last forever. By the time we get into this weekend, expect whatever is left of that high pressure and that cooler weather in the east to kind of dissipate, and this big ridge will take over, bringing with it more of that summer-like weather again. Now, one more thing I do want to mention, going into our Friday and our Saturday, we will have a piece of energy moving through the northeast, so this will likely bring rain chances back up once again for you folks in the northeast, but even that won't last forever as that big ridge takes a hold. And then our eyes turn to another storm system next week that will likely cross the northern tier of the country, bringing with it some severe weather as well as some strong winds and some other stuff we'll have to talk about whenever we get to that point. But right now, we're just going to focus on this cooler weather for the next couple of days, and then this ridge building back into the weekend before next week things once again get interesting. So again, we're going to have this pretty widespread rain on Thursday afternoon, as you can see here on the map, down into the southeast. Also, that upper level low I just talked about in the northeast, beginning to work its way out of Canada and into the United States, specifically New England, by the time we get into our late Thursday and into our Friday afternoon that I have depicted here. So Friday afternoon looks like another wet one, particularly more widespread on Friday for the East Coast as a whole. But it should begin to clear here along the Ohio River Valley by the time we get into Friday, and then those storm chances really increase east of the Appalachian chain by the time we hit Friday. Now, by the time we hit Saturday, that last upper level low kind of works its way out of the northeast, and we're back to just kind of summertime afternoon storms for our Saturday and our Sunday as well, before, again, we get some kind of storm system kind of to across the country by the time we get into early next week. And we'll definitely have to watch that and time that out for you once we get a little bit closer. So in terms of temperatures, starting this out with our Wednesday afternoon here, again, where we see this kind of stormy, or not stormy, but really just rainy area set up, we'll see cooler temperatures. Other than that, kind of average temperatures for much of the East Coast, east of the Appalachian chain, and of course, still very hot into the southern Great Plains for our afternoon tomorrow. Now, as we get into our Thursday afternoon, look at this very dark blue setting up shop for those areas that we talked about with our high-resolution rapid refresh model. Again, we talked about why that is. That will be, quite a shock for a lot of folks, I think, on Wednesday with very cold temperatures, something you'd see more in September or October compared to the first couple of days of August. Now, as we go into our Friday afternoon, this time that cooler weather with those showers will shift off east of the Appalachian chain specifically, but could still linger down into the Tennessee River Valley a bit as well for our Friday afternoon. Before going into our Saturday, things really begin to heat back up for just about everyone, and we're really back to those warmer temperatures by the time we hit Sunday, before that next storm system out west begins to cool things down again for some folks going into early next week. All right, so looking at rainfall totals here, again, most of the rain that falls will be down here through the St. Louis metro, down towards Nashville, and then into the western Carolinas, into this corridor. This is just now through Sunday, but really most of this will fall over the next 72 hours or so from now through Thursday night and into Friday. So again, flooding will be a bit of a concern, especially up towards the St. Louis area, but even downstream of there into Tennessee and Kentucky, as well as the western Carolinas, where we see some training of these storms, could also have a bit of a flooding threat. I didn't add the tropics in this video, mainly because nothing really exciting, or maybe not exciting is the word to use, but nothing of interest or threat to the United States is out there right now. We do still have one area to watch, but the chances of that developing have decreased significantly, and that is also still moving out to sea as we have expected for the, long run here, pretty much. Anyway, though, again, hopefully, you're excited for some of that cooler weather over the next couple of days. I know I'm going to probably get out there and enjoy it. I'll stand in the rain and just be grateful that it is below 80 degrees at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. So I encourage you to maybe go do the same as well. Maybe put the rain boots on, get a rain jacket on, go jump in some puddles or something, and just get excited for fall because, again, I'm sure a lot of us are very excited for that. With that said, though, I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday night, and I will see you all tomorrow.